Hey, look at this, everybody. I'm back in the studio. Not on the street, but we're going to be on the street again soon. So I'll tell you all about it in just a minute. From York County, South Carolina, here in the studio in the bonus room above the garage on the north side of Fort Mill, stepping out of the shadow of Charlotte, it's the York County Democratic, it's the York County Democratic Party's YouTube show and podcast. We call it YCDP TV. And look who's here. Hey, Nikita.
Hello. How are you, Gary?
York County Democratic Party's chair. I got a title for you. Let me see if I can find it. Here you go. Nikita L. Jackson, our chair. And just for fun, I'm Gary Pierce. I'm the producer and the host of the show. And here is our show title, episode 33. Recording this on April 24th, 2025. Eat dessert first.
I see that.
I'm gaining weight just looking at the title. We got something to announce. What do we want to tell everybody?
Yes, everyone in York County, we want to tell you about dessert before dinner. Who does not want to have dessert before dinner?
Me.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I want dessert before dinner.
Yeah, you want it. So we want everybody else to want it as well, so that you guys can come out and spend some time with like-minded people, share some ideas, and most of all, just have some delicious dessert before you go home for dinner. And it's on a Friday, so why not start your weekend off right by having dessert before dinner?
Okay, let's go through the details. It is Friday, May 2nd, so coming up, next week? 2 weeks.
That's correct, next week.
All right, at 5 p.m.
at the York County Democratic Party headquarters, located at 858 Cherry Road.
Okay, and you can purchase tickets if you may have seen this announcement. It comes from our newsletter. You may have also seen it on our Facebook page, but the easy place to find it, the announcement is on our website, which is yorkscdems.org, or even more easily, YCDP.us. Both of those will get you there. And there we are, a sweet evening to support the York County Democratic Party, 5 p.m., May 2nd, 858 Cherry Road. And there's a link there to purchase tickets, which is, $25 a piece, I think?
Yeah, we're asking for a $25 donation to help support the York County Democratic Party and our headquarters, so that we're able to be the brain, the source of where all the information is filtered to and from. And so we're just basically getting together friends, like-minded people to enjoy some music, some dessert, and to have some beverages. And just to let your hair down, with everything that's going on, we just want everybody to come out, relax, enjoy yourselves, and, let's focus on what's next.
Okay, so maybe we'll see a lot of people there. I think I'm planning on being there. I assume you're planning on being there.
Of course. Who wouldn't? Again, I'm like you, Gary. I want dessert before dinner.
Now
so I'm getting off right.
This is not a potluck. We're supplying all the food, right?
That's right. No potluck. We're providing the dessert. We're providing the beverages. We're just asking our friends to come over and donate $25 or more to help the cause. And that's to help, with the headquarters, anytime we have volunteers coming through, getting out information, helping candidates. That's what the headquarters is for. We're there to be the source of information going out and coming in as well. And also a place for candidates who are going to be potential candidates on the ballot, for them to come in and to talk with us and to ask us how we can help and how they can help us as well by being the candidate on the ticket for York County. So we're just wanting to be able to continue on our efforts, and what better way than to have dessert before dinner?
I've never been to that building. It's not huge. How many people can we squeeze in?
Well, it's not, but it serves its purpose. We probably can get 20 in the inside, but we're going to be outside. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have music. So it's not just you're standing around just eating dessert and you're mingling, you're having fun. It's an evening of enjoyment. Let your hair down, relax, and just to meet some nice people.
So we can spill out into the parking lot or outside.
Yes, we are.
And no rain.
Well, we're going to have tent, Gary. So we're not going to be out there. We're going to have tents so that people can, stand. If it's too hot, you can stand up under the tent. We're going to have some chairs out there for people who want to sit down. If you want to bring your own chair, because you know how comfortable your chairs are, you're more than welcome to do so. But we're ready. Can't wait to have this event. And just looking forward to having a lot of people just come over and spill over into the parking lot and just have a good old dim time.
A dim good time.
That's right, a dim good time.
That sounds great. All right, so just to recap very briefly, it is when I get back to the right thing here on the screen, 5 p.m. May 2nd at our headquarters, 858 Cherry Road, Rock Hill, and get your tickets. The link on the website is probably the easiest for everybody to find who might be watching this. And we will see you there. This was announced in something that's kind of new. We have a new newsletter.
Well, it's not new. We just revamped it to bring more life to it. We've had the newsletter probably for over 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer than that. But we have revamped it to make it more appealing and appealing to the eye. And so we've been getting a lot of great comments about the newsletter that it looks great. It has a lot of great useful information. And so that's what we're here for. We're trying to put out the best information, correct information, so that if people want to find out about what's going on in York County, just go to the website, look up the newsletter. Better yet, you can call over to the headquarters and provide us with your contact information so that we can put you in constant contact. And every time we submit the newsletter, you'll be on the list to get it.
Yep. So Amber and Ryan are putting this together for us. It is an awesome job. Yeah, in the past, the newsletter had been just text, informative, lots of information, but just text. So they have made a graphical presentation out of it. So, so we're a podcast. The people on the audio are not seeing us, but the people on the YouTube video are seeing me scroll through it. It's extensive. They got a ton of stuff in here.
A lot. We try to get information out that's going to be beneficial and, to get people to start conversating amongst themselves and taking action.
Yep. And if for some reason you have not received it in your email, you can go to our website and the April edition is there, and I'll get the March edition back up. They did one in March, and they've done this one in April, and they will continue.
One in February as well. So if you don't have them, we can send those to you so you can upload and so that people can see the progression of what we've been doing.
Excellent, and they will keep doing it until they are absolutely exhausted because this is a lot of work. I know I've done these sort of things before.
It is. And, people think that when they see the newsletter, it just magically appears. Those Amber and Ryan, they're putting in a lot of extensive work and time and effort to get this newsletter prepared. So if at any time you see those two individuals, please thank them for the work that they're doing to try to keep us informed through the newsletter. And not only them, but to all of our volunteers that come in through the headquarters. They're there keeping that place buzzing. They have people stop by all the time. Whenever they're there, I try to stop by for a couple minutes just to see if they need anything. But we have Bo Van Adler. He's our headquarters liaison person for the party, and he goes in and checks on those ladies every time that they're there. But we have a lot of great volunteers and a lot of people that just drop by that just want to take a load off and to relax their minds. So we're grateful to have our volunteers who are there on Wednesdays and Fridays to allow people to come in and to get information and just to come to a safe and happy place.
I was going to ask, are we still open regularly Wednesday and Friday afternoons? And it sounds like we are.
Yeah, we are from 12 to 4. Those ladies are there. Sometimes I walk up there and they're just in there just laughing, having a good old dim time. And sometimes that's what's needed, just to be able to have a place that you can go to and, with some like-minded friends. And so that's what dessert before dinner is, friends getting together to have a good old dim of a time.
Excellent. So stop by. Just show up. You don't have to do anything. You just show up on a Wednesday or Friday afternoon,
Yeah.
and join the folks. So there have been. What I wanted to mention is, because you're talking about having a good time, this is a difficult time for us to have joy. With everything that's going on in Washington and in Columbia, it's a tough time to be a Democrat. It's a tough time to be progressive or liberal, because we don't have that much power to control what's going on. So getting together and commiserating and then smiling and laughing with people that share, at least to some extent, your ideology or your political persuasion, that's worth spending some time doing.
It really is. And I tell people all the time, instead of sitting at home watching the news, getting depressed and, thinking, you're about to lose your Social Security tomorrow, you're not going to lose it tomorrow. But, this is a place and opportunity for you to go over and to just, let your voices be heard and your concerns be heard. And those ladies over there, they're doing a really good job with helping people ease their minds and offering some suggestions on what they can do, such as getting involved with the protest that has been happening right here in York County. Those organizers have been doing a fabulous job.
Yeah,
of
good segue.
That's right. So they do a fabulous job organizing the protests that we've been having here in York County. Hats off to them. Kudos to them for all that you're doing. But this is a segue going into just having a relaxed time to take the load off, to just relax and enjoy yourself, the dessert before dinner. But also those ladies are able to offer suggestions on what you can do moving forward, like contacting your senators, contacting the congressmen, sending emails, calling, phone banking. We've gotten a lot of people. We've talked about 5 calls. That's something that people can download on their apps on their phones, and they can find out what's going on in DC, those bills that's coming in through there, so that they can call our senators here in this area and voice their concerns about how they feel about those bills and how we would like for them to vote in our favor. Even if they don't, we can let them know how we're feeling. And also, SC Legislature, that's another app that people here in York County can go onto the App Store and download. It talks about all the bills that's going on at the State House. You can find out in real time what's going on at the State House, and that way you can keep yourself better informed. And so these are the type of conversation and things that's happening over at the headquarters, just trying to keep people informed. And when they say, I want to do something, you have a platform, you have a place to come to where you can find out things to do, because all these events that's going on in York County, to stand up for people like us and for us, this is the place. You go over to their headquarters and those ladies will direct you in the right direction on who you need to talk to and how you can collaborate to make your voice heard.
So many things. We probably ought to, if we're going to give people advice, it's don't try to do everything. Pick a couple.
That's right. Rome wasn't built in a day. So, in that elephant, you got to take one bite at a time. But when you have people coming together and collectively putting their ideas on the table, we can pick and choose what direction we want to go in. And then we can send the soldiers out to march and say, hey, this is what you tackle because that's your passion. And we're going to let this group tackle this issue. But when it's time for us to come together, we can come together cohesively for the cause.
Yeah. So speaking of coming together, past few weekends, there have been protest rallies in Rock Hill. And I've got video on our YouTube channel. I took the York County Democratic Party YCDP TV Media Empire Production Unit, which is a camera and a microphone and me, out to Rock Hill. On April 5th, there was the Hands Off rally, and that was actually there were two of them in Rock Hill. There was one at Fountain Park, and another along Dave Lyle Boulevard. Separate, more or less separate groups that were coordinating them. Indivisible coordinated the one by Fountain Park, and a coalition of groups, but sort of led by York County Rising and 5501 and Move On. We're doing the one on Dave Lyle Boulevard. And then last Saturday, there was just the one on Dave Lyle Boulevard with that same group of people. And so they're relatively short for us, short videos, just a 10-minute video from April 5th and a little bit longer, with a long interview with the fellow that is the spokesperson for York County Rising, a new progressive group, Brian Ballard. You'll see that at the tail end of the video from April 19th. That was the No Kings rally. So those videos are available, and that pretty good views. 285 folks have looked at the Hands Off already, and 85 have looked at the No Kings. So I'd like to encourage people to go take a look at those. They're going to continue. The rallies along Dave Lyle Boulevard in Rock Hill are going to continue every other Saturday. And there will be more. And as we note, they can be a little bit hard to find. So if you want to attend them, you have to do a little digging. Go ahead.
Well, like we've said before, we're here to support any efforts to get the word out. And so whenever we see the flyers that are posted on our Facebook page, we try to share that amongst the body so that if anybody want to and wish to participate in that fashion, they can do so. And so we will support the York County Rising and Indivisible 5 to get the word out about events that they're doing in our community, because a lot of people say we don't know what's going on, but the best, whatever we can do to help support those efforts, we're doing so. We're sharing them to our personal Facebook page as well, because not everybody is on the York County Democratic Party Facebook page. We put it in the newsletter. And so we're just trying to help encourage people to get it out, because there's no limit to what people can do. Once you put your mind to it, and if that's what you're wanting to do, we're going to do all we can possible to ensure that we get the word out about these protests that's going on here in York County.
Facebook is a difficult medium for communication. It reaches a lot of people, but it doesn't show you everything.
Yeah.
If you've got a group of friends, if you've got groups you've been on, if you've got pages you follow, and you're bringing Facebook up on your phone, it doesn't show you everything that everybody's been sending, because, well, for one thing, that would be overwhelming. But for another, they have their own reasons for putting things up into your feed that are opaque. We don't know how they decide to do things that they decide to do. You can go specifically to friends, groups, pages, and look at everything that has been posted. But that's sort of on you to specifically do that and to see what's there. And
everybody's not on Facebook.
It's just exactly what I was about to say.
No.
Not everybody's there.
No, not everybody's on Facebook. So that's why we try to do whatever we can. We have information, again, at the headquarters. That's the hub. That's the brain of the operation. So we try to do what we can possibly to encourage people to go out to events and to be a place where people can find out information about what's going on here.
Yeah. And you can help, everybody out there in the audience, you can help if you see a notice of something like this, spread it around. Don't don't just keep it to yourself, because if you republish that on any social media that you're on, other people are going to catch it, and maybe for the first time, and they'll spread it around too. Yeah. So a couple hundred people, I've seen estimates 400 or 500 people have been showing up in Rock Hill. So so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you watch Rachel Maddow?
I do. And of course, I've heard about it.
Yes. Well, on her show for the past couple of weeks, she has been showing compilations of the protests going on, because it's not just here in Rock Hill.
That's
up in Charlotte, it is all over the country. There have been thousands of protests almost daily, but certainly weekly in all these places. And she does a review of as many of them as she can. And last Monday, she got finally to us, and this will show you just a couple of the other events, and then finally what she did about Rock Hill.
We saw big protests this weekend in Greenville, South Carolina, and in Springfield, Ohio, which you will remember, that's where Donald Trump and J.D. Vance attacked Haitian immigrants in perverse terms. Lots of protesters out in San Diego, California. New Orleans, people turned out in the French Quarter to protest. We say no to deportations, protect immigrant rights.
Our part's coming.
Sacramento, California, big turnout in their Trump protests this weekend. Norwalk, Connecticut. Surprise, Arizona. Topeka, Kansas.
Here we come.
Here's just a couple more. Look at the big crowd in Topeka. This was Rock Hill, South Carolina. The Easter Bunny says, hop away from fascism. No more rotten eggs in the White House.
Yep. So about that, everybody's wondering who the lady is who was in the bunny outfit.
Bunny is. Everybody wants to know who the pink bunny is.
Yep. And
we say thank you.
Yes, and I don't think she has come forward yet. I talked to her briefly. I tried to record it on my camera, and something failed on my camera. I mean, she's on the video, but like a 3-second interview did not make it because my recording didn't work. What I asked her, I didn't ask her who she was. A lot of people at these events, first of all, a lot of people are afraid at these events of having their faces on camera because Trump's coming for you. You know, they can't come for everybody. Of the millions of people that are showing up in these protests, they can't come for everybody. But if you stand out, and if you especially get on national TV, they may try to pick you out. And even though you've done nothing wrong, they can cause you trouble. They can cause you trouble through the IRS. They can, if you're an immigrant, legal, documented or not, they can cause trouble with INS. Nobody needs that headache. People like me, white, old, native-born American, I'm not immune, but I have a certain amount of difficulty of them doing anything to challenge me, and I'm happy to step forward and step at the front of the line and say, challenge me if you dare. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. Other people are in a greater risk. So we don't show people who don't want to be on camera. But if you're standing out there, you're likely to be shown somewhere by somebody because it's public venue, and you can show that stuff. So I didn't ask who she was. What I asked was, is it really hot in there? And
that was a hot day.
Yeah, it was warm, but inside that suit, she said it was really hot. People say, I didn't see it. People say you took it off every once in a while, but she was in it for hours. It's one of those blow up things like you see at Halloween. There's a fan in the back, must be battery operated, that keeps it inflated and at least keeps the air moving, but there's no air conditioning in there.
It was hot that day.
Yeah. So there's going to be another one, not this Saturday, but every other Saturday, sponsored by the York County Rising. They've got a Facebook group of their own, but you'll see the announcements. But just count on it every other Saturday for as long as we can go. I really hope that it grows and grows and grows. It grew a little bit between April 5th and April 19th. It grew a little bit. I think May 3rd.
And I think this gives people in our area who don't want to travel to Charlotte, who don't want to travel to Columbia, they have a place to make their voices heard and their presence known. So I think it's a great idea. I'm enjoying seeing all the footage. And so it's just a great way that, our local people don't have to travel 30 minutes to an hour down the road to participate. We got it going on right here in York County.
Yeah. And my wife went to the Rock Hill event for the first time. She hasn't done very many of these. She was like really impressed and really energized and invigorated by it. But initially she was thinking, well, why don't we go to Charlotte? Because it's going to be much bigger and much more impressive. And that's true. And as an individual, you can go to one of those and look around you and see thousands of people and be even more invigorated. But my point was going to a local one that's only got 400 or 500 people, your presence, just your body being there means more.
And Gary, I had that conversation. Someone called me when the first protest took place on April the 5th. And they were saying, Nikita, we want to go to Columbia and participate in that protest down there. And I say, well, why do you want to travel 55 minutes to an hour down the road when there's a protest that's going to be taking place right here in York County, the place where you lay your head, where we have issues that we need to be dealing with? Come here. Let your presence be known here. We have our own concerns that we need to be addressing. And what better way than to start by standing up here in York County as opposed to going to Columbia or going to Charlotte? And the person was like, you know what? That is right. I think we're going to stay here. Yep. And so I was like, so you get on the phone and call those other people that were going to go to Columbia with you and tell them come right here in York County. We got things we need to be taking care of here.
Well, I don't think I would discourage people from every once in a while going to one of the bigger ones, even if you want to do this all the way to DC and go to and go sit among hundreds of thousands of people in one of the big cities.
No discouragement. Let's take care of home first, and then we can branch out.
All right. Well, we're going to have a lot of these, so spend most of your time at home. But once in a while, if you want to go see the big one, because like when you went to the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, you were at our convention, you were at the state convention, and you were at the national convention. Which one had the bigger impact?
Well, I'm going to say.
She's going to be a loyal York County Democratic Party chairperson.
I have to be. If you're referring to this past convention that we had here in York County on March the 15th, we had over 300 people there. So to me, that was a success. We hadn't saw that number in a long time. And so to have that many Democrats in York County come out was amazing to me. So it was on the scales of the National Democratic Convention to me.
Okay. From your position as the chair and somebody organizing these things, I can see when you stand up there in front and look out at a packed room of Democrats here in York County. Yeah, that's going to hit you.
It does.
Okay,
but with all the excitement that the national convention had, it was the bells and the whistles. We didn't have stars coming out. We had potential candidates come out to let us know who they were, but to see all the famed named celebrity people to come out. So that was amazing.
Yeah.
It was an event of the lifetime, but our County Democratic Party convention was amazing.
Okay. So I say go to one of the big ones if you need that kind of rush. If you need to stand there among 10,000 other people, 100,000 other people, go to one of the big ones and then come back home.
Yeah, and then come back home to help us to have a convention on that magnitude.
Yeah, that too.
Bring it back home. Bring it back home.
Yeah, because we could have a local county convention with 1,000 people in it.
We can.
We could.
You sure can.
Okay, there's one more thing that we want to promote in terms of activities that are coming up, and that is our friends, the Democratic group in Lancaster County, right next door, just to our east. They're going to do one of these things that you've been hearing about, which is the empty seat town hall. Now, they're in the same congressional district we are. They're in District 5.
That's right.
Our representative-ish is Ralph Norman, and he's not done a town hall. So they're going to do one for him, and it is April 30th. It's a Wednesday, April 30th. We do not expect him to show up. It says here he will not. You know, we would all be floored, but probably pretty excited if he did. he would be given a ration. I know about that. It's going to be at Indian Land High School. The address is 6100 Charlotte Highway in Lancaster. Am I saying that right? Lancaster?
Yeah,
not Lancaster.
Oh, Lancaster.
Lancaster. And they got a Facebook group. Of course, you can see the details on their Facebook group. So once again, Wednesday, April 30th. Does it say what time here? His picture's covering it up. I think it's 7.
6:30.
Okay.
No, it may be 7. It may be 7.
I think I see the top half of a 7 in there. 6100 Charlotte Highway, the Indian Land High School in Lancaster, 29720. And so I'm going to get there if I can. I may bring the YCDP TV production unit with me. I don't know if they're planning on video.
Take it on the road, Gary. Take it on the
You know, when I do one of those, I spend an hour shooting stuff and then I spend all day editing it. I really don't have the energy for that anymore. I'm getting old. I would mention, however, speaking of getting old, that I checked my bank account yesterday and my Social Security direct deposit was there. So that's 2 that have showed up since they've said we're not pulling the plug on Social Security, just making it immensely more difficult for people, especially people without means, to participate in it. So haven't been to a local office to see which one's closed, which one's open, stuff like that. But it's getting tough, and I hope I never have to.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Do we have anything else to bring to the people before we wrap this one up?
Just to let people know that the York County Democratic Party is here. The headquarters are open Wednesday and Friday from 12 until 4 p.m. Stop by and see our great volunteer staff, Miss Eileen Messick and Miss Hattie Ross and Miss Kathy, Miss Jolene, Vera. They have people are in that office during that time period, and they're really having a good old dim of a time. And so just go over there, talk with them, and get some energy from those ladies, because they are a ball of fun, and they keep that office going. So if you have any questions, stop by, call 803-327-4222. It's the telephone number. And always, please find, if you can, find the opportunity to donate to the York County Democratic Party headquarters, so that we can keep these efforts going. And we look forward to seeing you at dessert before dinner and also for upcoming events as well. So look forward to seeing you. Like I told people, don't meet me there, beat me there on May the 2nd.
All right. So many things coming up to do. Thank you, Nikita. Our chair, Nikita Jackson, here on...
thank you for everything, Gary. Thank you.
Oh, glad to do this. I love doing this stuff. This has been the York County Democratic Party's YouTube show and podcast. We call it YCDP TV. Bye-bye, Nikita.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Jane, how do I stop this crazy thing?